me how to say ladies and gentlemen in gender-neutral terms.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Used the wrong intro again. Hey everybody, welcome to HIAC Talk Radio. Dan Colachico, Craig Lagans, D-Mac down there. He's only on the bottom because here. I put him at the top.
Okay.
Put him
I
on
thought
the
you
top.
were gonna make a sports joke. Okay.
No.
What sport?
I don't punch down there. I don't punch
All right,
down.
so I won't be making any 76ers jokes either. And then we'll be.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. You can't hurt me any more than they have.
4 wins in a row. 4 wins in a row. Guys.
Okay. I'm already hurt. It doesn't hurt any more than this.
I told you what to do, man. Just trade for Jimmy Butler. That's all.
Listen. I know. I don't know how Craig feels about it, but I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead at this point, please.
Yeah.
Point of fact, Joel Embiid actually, Jimmy Butler was his first choice, and Paul George was the backup choice of who we wanted to come to Philly. So okay, but anyway, topic. Dan, go.
I'll look real quick.
I'm looking. You can't miss it.
I know. I was trying to be optimistic. It was only $70. So it was announced today that Dark Side of the Ring season 6 coming.
Oh yes.
I don't know if any of you saw the list of things there.
I saw a hint. I saw it. I know Mick Foley's Hell in a Cell is on there, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
right?
we haven't seen
And,
enough of that.
Billy Jack Hayes is on there, right?
Yeah.
Billy Jack Hayes is on there. So here's the list.
Yeah,
Here's the list. I'm going to read it up because I'm going to read off in this order for a reason. Hell in the Cell, Big Van Vader, Tony Atlas, Ludwig Borga,
Oh, okay.
Billy Jack Haynes, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Superstar Billy Graham,
That's
the original Sheik, Muhammad Hassan, and Daphne.
Okay.
No. I'm not going to go out of my way and say, don't watch this. How dare you watch this? The exploiting, blah, 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 blah. I know how it works. I'm not about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm tapping out.
That's, yeah.
I think I'm going to tap out. Maybe my mind will change. I still haven't finished last season. I can't get through it. Again, I'm not throwing judgment upon anybody. I'm not. If you want to watch a show, do.
But why is it hard for you? Why is it hard for you to watch?
It's vile. I can't. I am not a. I don't consider myself a pussy, air quotes for the internet terms.
Mm-hmm.
But after the Grizzly Smith, Jake the Snake, Rockin' Robin episode, I was like, I am not getting entertained by it. This is not entertaining. Not that the shows are, that's the wrong word. It is a form of entertainment, documentaries, but I was starting to go down personally. This is why me personally can't do it.
Okay.
I was starting to go further down the other side of negativity.
Okay.
And I'm really, 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 really trying to just enjoy wrestling again.
Really?
And that, yeah, really. Shut up. But fuck you. I'm trying to emphasize. I'm trying not to be the curmudgeon that people think I am, because I don't want shitty people in wrestling to splinter. But I was going too far down that side where I was becoming only focusing on the negative, and it wasn't organic. It was organic. I didn't make the decision like fuck you, I'm not watching anymore. I just didn't go back to it, and I was like, I felt better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I understand. I completely understand how you feel. My thing as a avid watcher and lover of documentaries, especially about our favorite subject matter, they're not all like that.
I saw all the other shows with you up to that point. I know they're not, but it was something about that. It was flashier stuff, guys.
because the ones after, the ones that you didn't see for that season were I thought were excellent. The Graham episode, the Mike Graham, the Yeti Mike Graham episode was it was very good. Again, hard to watch. I get it. What was the one that had that uplifting story that wasn't a bad one? Brutus Beefcake.
In hindsight,
yeah, that was a good one because we finally get his side of what happened, the parasailing accident and why. And you, if nothing else, Dan, you get another take on why Hogan's a piece of shit.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, that's why you definitely need to watch your.
Hold on, hold on. Yeah. You've brought me back on. What happened?
The Brutus Beefcake episode, I was not, because I've never been a fan of Brutus Beefcake in any of his forms. I just thought he was just a Hogan lackey. Yep. But you get to see his side of the story and how close they really were, and how it was kind of Ed Leslie that kind of sheltered Hogan into. It was him that helped Hogan with his promos, and it was him that, because they were brothers, they were the Boulder brothers. And Hogan did look out for him, but once he became Brutus Beefcake and Brutus the Barber and kind of divorced himself from him and, kind of made his own way, that's when they weren't as close. And even they go through the WCW stuff. But after that, there were, if Beefcake was on fire, Hogan wouldn't piss on him.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I brought this up and I didn't want to say why, it was like kind of like the Bret Hart talked me into staying thing. Like I didn't want to lead it, but I wanted you to counteract without me giving you a reason. And you might have just brought me back to fuck in. I think that was it.
Definitely finish the season. And with these new episodes, I mean, this is season 6 coming out. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the Superstar Billy Graham one more than anything because
the WWF DVD was pretty good, but
yes, but I love to hear from his family. And what family he does have. One of the reasons why I love Dark Side of the Ring is because we get to see the kids or the husband or the wives of these people I didn't even know existed. Like I didn't know that. Had no idea that Brian Pillman was such a pussy hound. It's like we know about Brian Pillman like 5 sisters. Oh wow, okay, he got around.
I just love the way you said that. I haven't heard the word pussy hound in the.
But hearing from their family, hearing from their kids, and seeing the never before seen pictures, the videos, and I mean the Harley race one was absolutely epic because even though it's the only sucky part, it was only an hour because Harley, that's a miniseries right there.
Oh, yeah.
But hearing from his son and seeing like the private footage of the home videos that he had and how he endured and those hard ass mats and what he was doing, for 30 years with no knee pads, and he was still an NWA champion all those years. And by the time he reached his, when the NWA became the NWA in '83, he had put in 20 years, and now it's time for him to pass it off to Flair. And he had never been more popular than he is now. We get to hear his story about how Vince confronted him in the bathroom, wanting him to not go up to Starrcade '83.
Did Vince know he carried a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very aware. They said he was terrified. It was a blood. Yeah.
That is correct.
Or the time he said when Hogan came in the ring, if he was going to set the ring on fire with Hogan in it.
Jesus Christ. Yes. Okay, well, Craig,
finish that season, Ben.
You've talked me back into it. Now, I don't know if I could do the Daphne one for personal reasons.
I understand.
But, and I was going to say, if we all, depending on how the conversation went, I was going to end it like this. So I'll just weave it in unceremoniously. If they do her right, and they make it about TNA fucking her over, and mental health, and making it serious about that, and sending that message, and Phil Collins, hopefully, not God, replace that is God, that they got her mom at least or somebody that was willing to speak of her, go for it.
Right.
I'd imagine, giving the events of her last day here, you almost have to talk about all that because it all leads to that day.
Yeah,
And
you have to.
the mad, the mad
to.
scramble that was. Yeah, so I would hope, especially the TNA stuff, and I would hope that they bring that stuff up.
Off easy, motherfuckers.
I'm excited for her episode because I hope it ends with her getting her flowers. I'm also excited. I'm excited for the Tony Atlas one only because I love hearing him talk. Like he reminds me of my grandfather, so I love hearing him tell stories. And the Vader one, because Vader is another guy who I feel like he got flowers while he was here, but he didn't get, like, he's probably one of, if not the best big man ever, at least to me.
He didn't get enough flowers now.
And I feel like he didn't get enough. So hopefully it'll shine a better light on like him and her. And that's the good thing with it.
Imagine being as big and bad as Vader and not trying to kill somebody.
I always thought, and Cornette tells his recollection is funny because he was ringside. The fact that he just never ripped Shawn Michaels' head off in that SummerSlam match where he's clearly up, showing him up. Like, it must have took everything he had not to just, drop him on his head. So
and I think why he didn't get the flowers he did, and because so many of the people he legitimately hurt.
Yeah.
Joe Thurman's back and Ron Simmons' shoulder and other people, and just his matches in Japan where he was literally beating the living shit out of people. And I'm interested in the Vader one, the documentary, just because of the dichotomy of the man, because by all accounts he was soft spoken and the nicest guy and a teddy bear and everything like that. But he break guys' backs and shoulders and punch him in the face, like during Saturday morning TV matches. And Hogan was afraid of him. He'd only use he could only use wooden chairs on Hogan, but Hogan used metal chairs on him.
It's funny because I think within the last couple of years of his life before he passed away, he got into it with Will Ospreay. I remember they had like a match somewhere in England, and he got into it with Will Ospreay because he didn't want to sell something. But if you listen to like guys like Brett will say he was like a big cuddly teddy bear, and he's like sometimes he didn't know his own strength. He had to like tell him like, hey, Leon, ease up. But I'm excited for his episode.
Yeah, and I think he didn't because he saw his meal ticket and he didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I hope that after he said, Sean, I messed up out there, but if you ever fucking do that again, I will beat the shit out of the job.
I will put your entire body through the end of this mat.
And he's another what if for me. Like, people always go, what if Pillman didn't destroy his ankle? If he doesn't destroy his shoulder and he shows up to WWE in shape, he's probably champion before the year is over. Just by the way they debuted him and had him beat up Monsoon the next night and all these things. Apparently he was supposed to be in the Sid spot at Survivor Series that year, so it sucks that he came in injured.
And the dream match, Derek, because he and Yokozuna were champions at the same time.
Yeah.
And now here he comes, and he and Yokozuna, that was a WrestleMania match right there.
Yeah, that's right. He broke Yoko's leg. That's right. I remember that. The storyline.
I just wanted to kind of end the segment since we're talking about Hogan with this lovely new piece of footage from Stephanie.
You're one of the best heels of all time.
Oh,
did you enjoy that?
Love being a heel.
Yeah.
But thank you. Yes, I hate being a baby face. It's the worst.
Yeah,
worst.
Love being a heel.
Prefer to be booed. Yeah. Much
whole
more
life
preferred.
You felt that way?
Oh yeah. Even when I was growing up, like I always loved the heels. I didn't like cheering for Hogan. It just wasn't.
Well, LA.
But he was the most over ever. But I just I wasn't on the bandwagon.
You're one of the best.
Shit. Sorry.
No.
Good stuff. No, it's
good stuff, Steph. I like booing you too. So that.
Yeah, yes. I just thought that was interesting. I was like,
I didn't like Hogan as a kid either.
Say what you want about the family and what's going on. Stephanie knew. why she was hanging with Macho.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was Andre the Giant's best friend, according to her.
Correct. I mean, that's who you have protect your ass.
Mhm.
Yeah, Andre, right?
God, that SmackDown episode. Anyway, what else are we talking about? Oh my god.
No,
Completely. This injury. Oh Jesus.
did you see
I
it there?
actually haven't.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So I have not seen the JD McDonagh injury.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
So we're gonna not for entertainment purposes, just just for
Just for context.
I guess for context, because this looks nasty.
Yeah.
Just on the screenshots. Here we go. If I could sit through Sid Vicious, I could sit through anything.
Yeah, the thing about what Sid, it was yeah.
Yeah.
What Sid, it was visible. Here, you know that JD took a hell of a bump, but we didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
And there was, it wasn't until afterwards.
Well, Michael Cole was legitimately concerned.
Yeah. I mean, 2 broken ribs, punctured lung.
And a concussion.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't break his neck is
that was my
miracle.
initial thing, Derek, was the whiplash.
Yeah.
And, obviously people were because they know now, it's like, how could you let the match go on? Nobody knew.
You can't know.
We know. Yes, we
and after that, Dan, he goes on to not only keep competing, he does another moonsault and he suplexes, I believe it's Ivar Hansen. He suplexes him off the top rope. Like, he kept working.
Mm-hmm.
He took a knee to the back of the head after it. Like, he just kept working and bumping like nothing happened.
How?
Yeah.
How are you breathing with ribs like that?
Yeah, they said he collapsed as soon as he went in the back.
Yeah, because the adrenaline wore off. Yeah, because that's what it was. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
And he's a guy I've noticed since he's been like in Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
He takes amazing bumps, but sometimes that could be your downfall. Like when you take bumps like that.
Yes.
Short your career. Ask anyone in AEW. You're shortening your career. Like that. It looks good, but to at what cost? And it's gonna.
Wow.
The long-term effects. It builds up.
I saw an interview with Brett, and they were asking Brett about the crazy bumps, and they brought up Mr. Perfect, and Brett goes, "Yeah, he took crazy bumps, but he took them safely." Yeah. So Brett goes, "The things that guys do nowadays, you would never see Kurt do." He goes, "Kurt would do the flip bump, but he would hold on to the rope, while he was doing the flip bump. He would do things safely."
Yes. That was a Henning spot when you'd work on the leg, and Brett would kick the leg, and he would hurdle himself, do a back somersault, but he held onto the ropes. It looked like he killed himself every time, but he was safe. He worked safely. Like everything he ever did, he did to himself. And why he liked working with Kurt so much, because working with Kurt was like a day off, and they looked like they were just punishing each other, but never laid a hand. That's what Austin said about Bobby Eaton.
Did someone try to gaslight Brett about Kurt Hennig did it? Was it like that? It was during that streak.
And Brett was like criticizing Seth for being dangerous. And I saw an interview where Brett was just saying, like, you have to be careful. Brett will tell you in a heartbreat, I've never hurt anybody. Brett will tell you that no matter what. And they mentioned
a lot, mostly from Brett.
Yeah, and the Brett was like, the crazy bumps these guys take, blah 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 blah. And the guy brought up Kurt Hennig, and he brought up Mick Foley. And Brett, like I said, he said about Kurt did bumps, he did it smartly. And he, it always looked more devastating than it was. And he goes, Mick is an anomaly because of the way Mick was built. So Mick isn't built like everybody else. He's like round in a way. He goes, so Mick could do things that a lot of people couldn't do. And that's why Mick stood out. And he goes, and the reason Mick stood out is because everybody wasn't doing it. It was just him.
Exactly. Because you've got guys that are weigh half of, what Mick Foley weighs, doing the exact same thing. And if you're not Mick Foley, you shouldn't be doing shit. And like Dusty said, don't do shit you don't know how to do.
Yes.
And Mick Foley falling off a cage wasn't smart, but Mick Foley could do it. A guy, Danny Garcia size falling off a cage, no, you're gonna kill yourself. Yeah. You will be broken in half, like JR said.
Yeah, Darby Allin, I think it's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, he wants to die
Mm-hmm.
for some reason.
Well, I mean, the feeling's mutual, Darby.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, okay.
How could you say that about him? Nonce. I don't care.
Yeah, because TNA, AEW pushes the wrong people constantly. They put now that being said, they put the tag team belts on the Hurt Syndicate, the most thing in the company right now. Now, are we taking bets on how long they will go before they fuck this up, or
2 weeks?
The start of something that we're actually going to start pushing the people that fans are? I mean, guys that look like legitimate superstars, like legitimate athletes, are we going to push them in favor of guys that AEW just likes? And because were they even on TV last night, the Hurt Syndicate?
No.
Just gave them the World Tag Team belts.
No.
Again, I just said they're the most over thing in your company.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not even on TV yet. You give how many minutes to Jeff Jarrett? And your main event is Wheeler Yuta and who?
I hate to keep
Stop dragging Wheeler Yuta into this, damn it.
He's a nice guy. He deserves to be pushed. Go ahead.
He's a good wrestler. It's not his fault.
I hate that I come on here and I rant about Tony Khan every week. But I'll start with the Hurt Syndicate. That is the smartest thing he's done in a very long time. Now, keep in mind, they beat Private Party, who beat the Bucks, and they made a big deal about it. And then they kept them off of TV until they had that first segment with the Hurt Business. And then the second time they were on Dynamite, they lose the belts, in which was a complete squash match. But it's the Hurt Syndicate. It should happen. I give him 1 month before he messes those guys up. 1 month. And I need somebody to explain to me out there who's a fan and defender of AEW. I was told when Cesaro/Claudio came to AEW, he was going to reach his full potential. This is what I was told. He's been held back, blah, 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 blah. I watched him. How old is Jeff Jarrett? Is Jeff Jarrett in his 60s? So he's not.
He's the same age as me, about 57. Yeah, 58.
I watched Cesaro in 2025 need help from his entire stable to beat 57-year-old Jeff Jarrett. Somebody explain to me how that is and how this is better than if he was in WWE right now having great matches with Drew McIntyre and Gunther and Braun Breaker and all the litany of people he could have been having great matches with now. He's worse off now than he was as Cesaro. He's a henchman.
So is
Moxley.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so annoying.
So is Ricochet. You know, they all left thinking that the grass was greener. Turns out to be AstroTurf. That's why it was greener.
I saw that last night and it drove me crazy.
Yeah, and watching EW always drives me crazy because nothing good comes out of it.
That's a good one from Misty in the chat. I want to know how we went from Jarrett doesn't draw a dime to yay. Yeah, I remember like just a couple years ago, we were talking about how in that WCW DVD WWF put out, they were talking about Mike Graham was quoted saying, what do you break, 4,000 guitars? Didn't draw one dime.
Didn't draw one dime.
Well, how we go from that to this?
And the downfall, I'm going to use downfall of MJF needs to be a documentary about what they've done to him. It's like he's just, to me, and we mentioned this about Kenny Omega, to me it seems like MJF is just going through the motions till he can leave. It's like he felt he reached his peak and it's just downhill from there. There's nothing for him to do. He just shows up, he says the same thing, raunchy promo, blah, 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 and then he goes off of television. He has to just be grinding, just turning the wheel so he can get out of there. He's outgrown that company already.
He was the biggest heel in either company for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I always said with MJF, he doesn't even have to wrestle. Just give him 2 minutes on the mic every week, and that's gold. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, D-Mac. I don't even know how. And he's like the one homegrown talent you have. Mm-hmm. And he's still young enough. So if he does go, he'll only be 30. Yeah. So still has, a ways to go. But yeah, I think he's just counting now because you were just talking about Jeff Jarrett. what does MJF have to do with Jeff Jarrett? How does that help MJF be a top guy?
It's so many guys. I look at Adam Cole, who's not the biggest guy, but the height of his career was in NXT when he was the champ. Yeah. He'll never reach those heights again in AEW. Ever.
I think that was another fumble. Undisputed Era on the main roster. It could have been something.
Yep.
Could have had something with that.
I don't know. I guess count the days. Count the days till Ricky Starks is free. That's all.
Yeah. Now I will say, as I was raving about this, that one of the things that is going right, in my opinion, is Toni Storm.
Yeah, she's.
And I will say, other than the Hurt Syndicate, the best. Period. Not the best woman, not the best in AEW, not the best. Period. That's it. Right up there with anybody else. And anytime there's no comparing it to this, comparing it to that. That was fantastic. I didn't think it was going to happen this quick.
Or on the show nobody watches.
Or on the show nobody watches. I mean, I was watching. I was watching that live. I don't know what told me to watch it live, but I was texting.
Yeah.
Well, I was delayed. Like I started an hour later or something, and I saw that. I'm like, guys, and I just her ending. It's just nice to see women using verbiage that men have used for years. Like I'm gonna rip your tits off.
Yeah.
Like it's just great, and I loved how well she was playing the rock star off. I loved that everybody was in on the joke. This is a rookie. How is this happening? And I'm looking forward to that. Now, where and how they do it, whole other discussion. That remains to be seen. But so far, Toni Storm has done it fine. Toni Storm's been great. Mariah May's been great in this whole. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
But I had a big pop for that. And I want to see more. I want to see more of Timeless Toni. There's not enough of Timeless Toni Storm, in my opinion. Just like there's not enough of many other people we've mentioned. But only one person can allow the turnaround. But it's neither here nor there. On the other side of things, I'm sorry. Did you have a rebuttal?
I was going to do a segue. Only one person can decide these things in AEW. There's only one person that can win the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble 1994 notwithstanding. No such thing as tie. But there's only one person that can win the Royal Rumble. Does anyone have any idea or any leanings of who that would be, who it should be? But first, let's talk about Jordynne Grace.
No, I mean, no. It was a good segue because this ties into it.
Okay, good.
Last year, she made her WWE debut at Royal Rumble.
That's true.
She did the job to Tessa piece of shit Blanchard. And I guess it's weird because you said she's signing with welcome back NXT, and I don't feel that needs to happen, but I still feel she can win the Royal Rumble.
Jordan? We talking about Jordynne Grace?
Yeah. But that's my pick for the Royal Rumble this year. For the women's Royal Rumble. My pick is Jordynne Grace. I'm going with Jordynne Grace. I have this weird feel.
How about you, D? How about you, D?
You know what I think? I thought at first Bianca, because you could do Bianca Rhea, which is one of the big. But after watching her promo packages the last 2 weeks, I think it might be Charlotte, and I think they might do Charlotte and Tiffany at Mania.
That's my pick. I was going to say Charlotte too.
I think it's Charlotte because it seems like she's leaning into this top star diva thing, the thing that everybody says she is, and if she's leaning into that, you kind of got to have her win, especially if you want her to be the heel, and you want to get Tiffany to be like this big baby face coming out of Mania. Charlotte's the perfect person to do it with her.
And Charlotte, like her dad, prefers to be heel, and I think she should be heel.
Yes.
And listen, I won't be upset if it's Charlotte because unlike, I guess, most people apparently, I like Charlotte.
Me too. I
don't.
She's one of my favorites.
Fucking stand what the problem is and why. I don't mean hate her like a heel, like I fucking get her off my. Yeah. What are you talking about?
They say, she's only there because of her father. Which look, that probably got her signed.
10
Yes.
times the wrestler her father was in ability, but that's
she's and for somebody who only did it in memory of her brother, she's probably one of, if not the greatest female wrestler ever. And don't give me that dad stuff, because we talked about Kurt Hennig, and how did Curtis Axel look when he was in the ring? He wasn't as good as Charlotte. She's amazing.
Yeah. And in that vein, D-Mac, Kurt Hennig was way better than his dad ever was.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with
it went like this.
Yeah, same thing with Randy and his father. You know, Randy was way better than his father, and his father was fucking amazing. Bob Orton, he was. But
so of course her dad's name got her there, but the same can go for Bray and Bo and Randy and, you know, Natty's a Heart. It helps to get you through the door, but once you get there, you have to prove yourself. And all Charlotte does is have great matches. I don't understand why people hate her. I don't get it.
I don't get it. She has great matches, and it's not. I don't get it.
She's a great heel. Even if her matches were so. People can say that about Flair. You know, they don't see what a big deal about Flair's matches is, but Flair's promos, that's worth the price of admission alone, because people talk you into the seats. Now, as far as winning goes, you know, you said Charlotte, and Dan, you think Bianca. As far as surprise entrants go, I can see Becky coming back and AJ.
Now has to be the time for AJ, right? Like, now is the perfect time for her.
If not now, when?
Yeah, it's the perfect time now.
Sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
I was gonna say she's been going long enough that it seems like all the girls in NXT, they all look up to her. So you've made your mark on the industry. When she left, she was right when things were starting to turn. When she left, like, now if she comes back and she doesn't want to work full time, obviously because her neck, but you want to show up sporadically like Trish, you'll have Becky, you'll have Rhea, you'll have Bianca, you have Naomi, Jordan Grace will be. There's a whole litany of women on the main roster and on NXT for you to wrestle. Now is the perfect time.
I'll say prediction connected to that, Derek. Craig and Derek, fucking idiot. I call my dogs each other's names all day. Just so
I get the dog and Judah mixed up, so don't feel bad.
All right, well, that's even better. I have not called the dog Kelly yet.
No, I haven't done that either.
I always end up go Falbert, Illis, Philbert. Get over here. I think all the surprises will be with the women's. I don't think, nor do we need the men's to have a special super.
No.
And I also want to just point out this thing, and I'll say it every year until you stop, people. This thing where everybody's like, well, the special, but this is not guaranteed. There's no advertisement on any commercial past. Nobody knows what's going to happen. That guarantees anybody's going to be a special guest.
Yeah, so don't get upset.
I remember a few years ago there was nobody, and I was like, "This was crap." I was like, "Wait a minute! If that's why you're watching the wrong show. That's WrestleMania. That's when they're supposed to be. These are secret for a reason."
Mm-hmm. And you really,
I don't
in the men's rumble, I guess other than maybe a few people from NXT, like if you want an Ethan Page to get in front of a big crowd, and maybe a Trick Williams, I wouldn't put Oba in it, only because I think if Oba's in it, if you put him in, he can dominate. But I would almost want him to win the first time he's in it, just to protect his aura. But there's so many stars. This reminds me of the '92 Rumble when like all the major stars were in it. You really don't need like any crazy surprises at this point.
Yeah, and what made '92 great, because not only this is back when they were fighting for the world championship, but not just Hogan, Piper, Flair, Kerry Von Erich, Brett, DiBiase, Macho Man, Sid, all of that's what made it great. And I agree, if Oba's in it, he should win. I don't think Oba should make his debut in the Royal Rumble, because that's you save that card for for when you have a main event spot open, or you have a top spot open, then you call up Oba. as far as surprise entrance in the men's rumble, the names you mentioned, Joe Hendry, has definitely got to be there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, maybe.
Yeah. That would be Saturday would be a great way to bring back Malachi Black.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that thing. Anything else, I just wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm more interested to see who's going to win than who's going to debut.
Yeah. That's my thing. The only thing I'd be in favor of is Omos went over to Japan and they treated him like a god.
Yeah.
So if you can finally find a way to book him right, which I think they should put him with the New Day, only because you just put him with the New Day and let him get that heat and let him be like their big heater. I'd be perfect with that. And I don't know if he's cleared or not. If you could somehow get Big E to come back and have him confront Woods and Kofi, but you really don't need all that stuff because, like, you got Punk and Jay and Roman and all these things. Sammy, they've done a great job of building up the Rumble this year. I don't know who's going to win, which makes it even more exciting. Like last year, we kind of all figured it was either going to be Cody or Punk. Right. This year, I don't know. Cena's in it. Like they can go a million different ways.
Derek, I like that idea so much of putting Omos in the New Day, and we can rename him Big O.
There it is, yeah, Big O. Because they need like a big guy with them because their mic work has been amazing. The stuff they did with Woods and his family on Monday was hilarious, and the stuff with Kofi with his mom getting up and walking out, and the next day he photoshopped his mom out of the family picture. She got up. The stuff they've done has been amazing, and if you put Omos with them and you book him right, they'll be good. Because I think there's still money in Omos if you book him the right way.
7'4". That writes itself.
And he can talk, and he's not like a big dumb giant. Like he's an intellectual guy. It can work.
It can work. What are you gonna say, Dan?
Well, I was just agreeing. I was just reacting to what you guys said. I was just listening to you guys talk.
They haven't said it yet, but I do hope they put Jacob Fatu in the Rumble and just have him go crazy. Just have him go nuts. Let him do what he wants. Out. And if he
they would put Jacob in there, and he eliminates so many people, but then he does the backflip over the top and eliminates himself. But he's doing it in a way that he's trying to punish people, and without him even knowing that he's eliminated, he'll come back in and like wait at least to 5 other guys, and a bunch of referees have to tell him you've been eliminated. Have him save that over that backflip over the top. To do, and MLW save that for the Rumble.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Solo, and I think the other was his name, Tamaloa, but Fatu and Tama Tonga, they look dangerous together. I wish Bronson Reed was still around so he could be with them, but those two, they're the money of that group.
Most definitely. Yeah, and Jacob, even what he did on Saturday Night's Main Event to Braun Strowman, that's exactly who he is.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
The more mic work. I mean, I said it from the get. If Triple H had been around, had been in charge when Jacob got out of his MLW contract, he's what Solo should have been. The guy that you can honestly believe, oh shit, he's gonna kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, he's different than anything on any show, and like the way he talks, you can tell it's him. The things he says, you can tell. Nobody can write, "You're not Godzilla or King Kong," because I'm both of them. Nobody can write that. That's something you have to have in your own mind to say in a promo. He's if they're not going to do Roman and Punk for Mania, I don't see why you wouldn't do Roman and Solo at Mania at this point. I feel like he's only been there half a year, and he's already earned a major Mania match, I think.
Oh yeah, and you can gear up. The only thing that's bothering me is that they should be doing the exact same thing with Braun Breaker, because that's your Brock Roman 2.0.
Yep.
For a future Mania, but Braun should be getting these main event spots or these prime TV spots that Jacob's getting.
Have you guys been seeing Omos is running New Japan?
I saw clips on him just walking in the streets in Japan.
And the people like and awes him.
Well, it's a real life Godzilla moment because everyone's just
Yeah.
craning their neck upwards and everyone's getting out of the way.
Yeah.
I've been checking out. I've been on the New Japan YouTube for about a year and a half, probably longer. But what's the other? Pro Wrestling Noah, and he looks great.
Yes.
I don't get I don't get it. That one I don't get. Well, we talk about Tony not booking stuff correctly. Who fits up? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Because he should have been protected the way they protected Kali when he first came in. That's how they should have protected Omos.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not slow like Kali
Nope.
was. I'm not saying he's slow, he sucked. Kali was so fucking big that he only moved as fast as he could.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything was a big move. Omos, this man has speed. As big as he is, I just there's Giant Gonzala.
Yeah, but that's a bad example.
Talent.
He had no talent. Giant Gonzalez had no talent. Omos.
No, I mean Omos has.
Omos has talent. Yeah.
Yeah. I said it the other way around.
Yeah. There's a way, a significant way you book a 7-footer, and the way they did in WWE was completely wrong. First of all, he should have never had a one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar. That's that's just promoting how
not yet.
Yeah. And you can't have him lose as many times as he lose. He shouldn't be losing at all. No. You book him so that you have smaller guys bounce off him. The only way he gets off his feet is if he takes himself off his feet, tries to move, miss, just like Andre. If you go for the diving headbutt or he misses and he hits his head on the post, something like that. There's ways to get the big man off his feet and still make him invincible, even on his knees. Andre had an entire bout with Ronnie Garvin on his knees when Ronnie Garvin was in Tennessee, and it sold out Knoxville because here's Ronnie Garvin, 5'8", but he was billed. Believe it or not, Ronnie Garvin was originally billed as a one-man gang. He was a terrific heel in Tennessee, and he had that Ronnie Garvin had a main match with Andre, and Andre sold for him and everything, but to get him off his feet, so Ronnie Garvin was just like beating it. He finally got the big man down, and he was just beating the shit out of Andre while Andre was on his knees. He'd run to the ring and off the ring and bounce off Andre and run to the other, and just like old Mr. Wrestling 2 footage. Wrestling 2 was 58 years old, couldn't move. Yeah, look at and the crowd, you can't see the crowd going ape shit, but Ronnie Garvin has got Andre the Giant, at his mercy. This is Ronnie Garvin, the one-man gang. So when he's down, it's a huge deal.
Oh my God! Yeah, look at that.
See, wrestling can be so simple.
Exactly.
It can be so simple.
And you have Andre on his knees, and he would be on his knees for most of the match, just like that.
Here he goes down again. That's incredible. That's perfect.
Look at that. That's so easy.
And this was 1978.
That's so easy.
When that match took place. So
it was less than 50 fucking years ago, you assholes.
So the 7-foot person hasn't changed. That's how you book a 7-foot person.
Yeah.
There's only been a handful.
I've never seen that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it can be done. So yes, Omos would be a great addition to the Royal Rumble if WWE so chooses.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was gonna say they've been booking big guys for over 50 years. Like, hello. Anyway, gentlemen, I believe that is it.
Wow. Where'd the time go?
There, backwards.
Okay.
Derek, thank you for joining us as always. Our streak continues.
Yes.
I almost called you guys and said I'm going to sleep.
Hey.
I was very tired. I didn't sleep last night. Just no issue. It was one of those nights where I was like, I guess I'm not sleeping. And then I had a pork roll and cheese on a bagel. And then I was ready. I am not kidding. I was like, I don't even want dinner. I'm not hungry. Let me make the rest of this pork roll. I'm awake. Let's go.
when I can't sleep, I watch old episodes of like WCW Saturday Night or Thunder, just random things. I'll watch like a random Bunkhouse Buck and Dick Slater versus Harlem Heat, like that whole storyline, and then before I know it, I'm out. So
Yeah, I gotta put. You know what? I'm gonna put on Eric Watts matches. That'll put me to sleep.
oh, Eric Watts.
Techno
I'm
Team
sorry,
2000.
Eric. That's
That'll
not
do it.
nice. I'm sorry.
Techno Team 2000. That'll do it.
Techno Team.
You know what?
2000.
And then after I watch those matches, I can watch Chad Fortune in his monster truck career, which was 10 times greater than it was as his wrestling career. That man was a monster truck driver for like 15 years and was good at it.
Didn't he drive? I know monster trucks because my oldest son loved them. Didn't he drive? Was it Soldier of Fortune? Was that his?
Yeah,
truck?
Soldier of Fortune. That's because of his last name. And it's still called Soldier of Fortune. The motherfucker doesn't drive anymore. He retired.
Monster
He
Jam
also
has
was
like
the original
passed me
driver
by.
of Superman. He'd have the jumpsuit, the fire retardant suit. Sorry, fire safety suit.
Mm-hmm.
The gear that race car drivers wear, but it had the sleeves and the tights, like it looked like Superman suit, and he'd do a freestyle the Superman truck, get out and do. It's great. And I will still say the best DVD I have, one of the best DVDs I have in my wrestling collection, but / monster truck collection. This is a Monster Jam DVD, which is about the career of Medusa, but the first 20 minutes has got matches from Japan clips I have never seen.
I love the monster. I love the Monster Jam. My son, like I said, when he was younger, he loved it, and I would tell him, Medusa was a wrestler. He go, yeah. His favorite truck driver was Tom Mintz, Maximum Carnage, and I told him, that started out as the Goldberg truck, like the wrestler Goldberg. And he's like, what? Yeah, it's yeah.
Look.
Look at. There you go.
The Nitro truck, man.
The Nitro. I remember that. Here. I remember it was like the Nitro. They'd always have like a random NWO car driver, the WCW car driver. Tom Mintz it was always something on it.
I got the Sting monster truck too. Come on, man.
I remember Charles Barkley was on there with his pants tucked, his shirt tucked in his pants, and his pants very high for some reason. I remember.
Charles is odd. I love Charles Barkley, but he's an odd duck. No, man, monster trucks. I started watching that and wrestling at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you an idea of where my brain is. I was born in the wrong section because it's like I go to those matches. I go to the matches of the truck races, and I don't talk to anybody because I'm like,
me either. Don't worry. We didn't talk to anybody when we went either.
Because they're looking at you, going, "What are you watching monster truck for?"
Mm-hmm. What do you know about Gravedigger, huh? Yeah.
I know that he was originally from Chesapeake, Virginia, bitch. You want to test me on my knowledge, motherfucker?
One time we went, and my son, I took him, and
Taco.
This guy was like, "What do you know about Gravedigger?" And Jonathan was like, "Oh, his son drives Son of a Digger, and before that, he drove the Tasmanian truck, and they have this one and that." He was just naming everything. And this guy was like dumbfounded. Yeah, he loved. I have like 400 Hot Wheel Monster Jam trucks.
Wow.
In my basement from when he would just collect them. I can name all of them: Donkey Kong, Backwards Bob, all the miscellaneous ones, Taz, all these. All of them.
Amazing. That's a hell of a collection you got there, Dan.
Yes,
something like that.
He might. He might.
Let me know.
He might.
Let me know because this is sitting here still.
Yeah, I want to have a conversation with him. Yeah, so I understand the monster truck thing. So wrestling and monster trucks. That's all you can do.
Monster truck, right? You should have seen me in '95 when they had that in the holiday on
the monster truck battle.
What it ended up being.
Yes.
And then just me going.
I know we gotta go. My favorite part of that feud is when he runs over Hogan's bike, and Hogan's like trying to get him out the truck, and he's like banging on the truck, not trying to get him at all, and the Giant's just looking, going ha 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 ha. You
know what's funny? And even at the younger age, because I was a monster truck nerd that long, I'm laughing because he's banging on the side of the truck, and all the motherfuckers got to do is walk underneath and grab his foot
and grab him. Yes,
under.
That's what I
get out from under. You idiot! You do rag wearing dumbass, honky do rag wearing dumbass. I'm talking about Hogan. realize what I was saying. I was like, no, I meant the white one. You know what I meant.
You know.
Oh, Derek, this was a fun little catch up there. Yeah.
This
Ask
is
him
fun,
if he
yeah.
wants the Taz truck because that's pristine. Just got to clean off the dust.
I will ask him.
I still have 50 of them. I still have the Micro Machine ones from when I was a kid. Do you remember those?
Yes.
I
Yes.
still got the whole collection.
So didn't Chad Fortune drive Captain America at one point too?
Probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All this useless information in my head.
Yeah, I mean,
Join the club, Derek.
my dad always
Like-
said that I have useless information to Genesisville Collins, but I got married because of it. So shut up.
Like when you called Ronnie Garvin the one man gang,
Yeah.
the useless information in my head. It's like, oh, they used to call Taz the one man crime spree. That's just how my brain works. It's sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they picked the Bruiser, the one man riot squad, at some point in his career.
Well,
Yeah.
one man gang on the one man gang was also Judge Dredd at one point, right?
Yes.
What a name. That's awesome.
That's
Better than
the same
Hakeem.
guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have an NWA wrestling poster where it's the Tasmaniac versus Sabu with Paulie Dangerously, and then the semi-main event is Al Snow versus Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd. It's better than Hakeem the African Dream.
Another shot at Dusty. Yeah.
By the way, put Slick in the Hall of Fame. Can they put Slick in the Hall of Fame, please?
I mean,
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, they just announced Triple H is going in today, so
Man.
yeah.
guys, can I show you something that made me laugh? We're gonna go out with how to shut up racists.
Mhm.
We all know whatever that was. It Bruce Mitchell with a Y, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, the UFC fighter, yes.
Yeah, he said Hitler was a good guy.
Yes, he just wanted to get rid of the yes.
Yes, he said those words. Well,
Mhm.
I wasn't directly involved, but there's Errol El Helwani. Each and every day, the MMA finds a way to reach a new low, a new way of embarrassing itself, and those who are fans of it. Here's UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell saying with the utmost certainty, I honestly think Hitler was a good guy. He fought for his country. He wanted to blah, 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 blah. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews. This is Bryce Mitchell saying this. I'm quoting an MMA fighter out that we're destroying his country, that we're turning them all into gays, quote unquote. And, Big Bronson Reed.
Yes, fine gentleman.
Yes, a fine gentleman with a great caricature of a boot just taking a Nazi out. This is going to get bad for a second, but the reason why I'm showing this is my response. Where is it? Somewhere? So this gentleman, this lovely guy says,
Disgusting monkey.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But he spells it Discusting. So I just replied, you can't even fucking spell, bitch. And that's how you know you're a joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only is racism really fucking lazy and stupid, but you're not intelligent.
No, they rarely are they.
No.
No times are they. None of the times. Book smarts and intelligence are not the same thing.
That's true.
You could read a book, but sometimes you can't learn that book.
Nope.
That's true.
Greg, on that wonderful fuck you Nazi note, why did I edit a fuck you Nazis? No fucks in our house. Okay? That is an XTC song referencing fucking Nazis. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Where can people follow you, Craig?
They can follow me on this glorious Phil Collins birthday on Facebook, Instagram, and on X and Threads at Craigigon, CRAIGLIGGEONS.
I was having a field day with some Facebook page that posted video of a clip of Phil singing Easy Lover, but it wasn't with Phil Bailey. It was a more recent live version with Leslie Odom Jr.
Oh,
It's going to be stuck in my head all night now. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, buddy. You love it. This is a good fucking song. Okay.
Yes, amazing.
But it was the live footage of him and Leslie Odom Jr. and Phil Collins' band, but it was labeled, which made me laugh because of gestures around. Phil Collins and Phil Bailey as Easy Lover, and the single version was dubbed over it. So I was like, this fucking page, not only did you take the single audio and dub it, they don't all look the same. I got blocked. Leslie Odom Jr. It's slightly different. Idiot. I mean, listen, Leslie Odom, that live version was great. I think that was at the U.S. Open when Phil did that in the air tonight with the Sun drum. And Leslie Odom was the other guest. It's a fine version, but it's a little hard to confuse those two. They're both amazing singers, but they don't sing together. Anyway. All right, enough of the soapbox. Follow me and my soapbox at DanLo83 on all social media platforms, which includes X, TikTok, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Spoutable, Tumblr, Instagram, Threads, and Pixel Fed, just in case I want to get rid of Facebook, because I'm leaning towards yes. Not yet, but I don't have I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Exhausted. For Craig and Derek, we will see you next week. Keep it on the paper. Punch your local master.